elements, there is no closing tag, like image, which we'll dive into in chapter 5. These elements were invented in the mid-90s. In those days, folks thought, hey, if there's no need for a closing tag, why have one? Later, thinking changed, and the best practice changed to put a slash at the end of any element that otherwise didn't have a closing tag. The idea is that the element kind of opens and closes itself all at once. There were many years when everyone told each other, you have to have the slash. But around 2010, people stopped worrying about it. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if most developers use a closing slash or not. At this point, it really doesn't matter. Browsers will support a range of different options of how you format your code. It's really up to you and your team to decide how you want to do it. Let's talk about what's going on inside the HTML file. And options we have for formatting our code. As I've mentioned earlier, for the most part, HTML doesn't care about spaces tabs, carriage returns. There are a few exceptions. If you use a pre-element or a code element or a text area, or if you use CSS to change how the white space is handled, in those situations, extra space returns and indentations can count. But most of the time, the browser will ignore everything having to do with spacing beyond the presence of a single space. Let's look at an example. Here, I've typed up a paragraph with the extra spaces between each sentence, but the browser is going to ignore them. Another way programmers keep code easy to understand is by documenting it, by putting comments in the code to explain what's going on. In HTML, you add comments to code by typing less than, exclamation point, dash dash. Everything after that will be ignored by the browser. To end the comment, you close it with dash dash greater than. Most code editors will gray out commented code or remarks, including the CodePen editor, which is super helpful. Then we aren't confused why something isn't working. We can see that it's commented out. Let's talk about uppercase versus lowercase. Back when HTML was new, everyone capitalized our HTML elements. Along the way, as HTML evolved, the web industry switched to believing that it's much better to write all the elements with lowercase letters. Now, the truth is, it doesn't actually matter. There's still millions of ancient websites out there with HTML written in all caps, and there are billions of newer sites that never use capitals in their HTML.